Look who's back, back again. Podcast back, tell your friends. Look who's back, look who's back, look who's back, look who's back. Welcome to Fitness Freedom. I am finally, after a break from the beginning of this year, restarting my podcast for 2026, season 4. This is I've been doing this since 2023. So this is the 4th year. And first of all, I really want to thank you to everyone who's listened since I've been on break. It's pretty cool to see downloads, even some episodes that I've forgotten about all the way back from 2023 that you've been listening to. As of now, this is the 125th episode that I'm recording, and these episodes have reached 40 countries and 414 cities around the world. I am still looking to see more listeners from the continents of Africa and South America. North America, you've got a little bit more downloads than other areas, than Europe, than Asia, but come through. But thank you so much for listening. I'm always keen to hear your thoughts. You can contact me on Instagram or email, and I appreciate it. I am going to be releasing some exciting interview episodes. I have an allergy chef. I have a coach who specializes in holistic health with subconscious reprogramming. I have a body worker who specializes in the pelvic area. An episode coming out with her, so stay tuned. I'm so excited to share more wisdom and insight in the upcoming year with you around the topic of fitness freedom. And in this first episode back, I thought I would just ease into it by sharing a little update. And if you're like me, I usually cringe and go, ugh, when podcasters just talk about their personal life. So if that's you, maybe wait for another episode to listen. But if you're interested in what's been going on in my life and what I've learned in the last almost 3 months since I've recorded, you can stick along for the rest of the episode. And honestly, I've had a bit of an internal struggle getting started back with podcasting. It was this thing where I didn't want to wait too long and I wanted to get back into it. And I felt even a little bit of pressure to do so, but I didn't want to push myself, and I wanted to give you something that was from the heart and something that was genuine. And so I waited until this very day to record. And if you're watching me, you can see I just took a shower, my hair is wet, and my hair has grown a little bit longer. I'm getting a haircut today. So I felt a little bit lazy. I feel like I've rested a little bit more the past couple of months work-wise, but I've also done some exciting things, and life is seasonal. We have seasons of rest and introspection. We have seasons of production. We have seasons of enjoying the fruits of the work that we've put in, just like nature. And I can definitely see my work aligned with the seasons. As I'm looking out my window right now in Madison, Wisconsin, the late March, there is snow on the ground and the sun is coming out and hopefully will melt most of the snow today and or tomorrow. So just a little bit of an update. It's not going to be super long. I don't want to bore you with details. And of course, being a teacher, an ex-teacher, I want to make things applicable for you and useful and helpful for you. And sometimes rather than telling, there's an aspect of value in showing. So that's a little bit of what I'm going to do for you. I want to start out with some positives in my life. And one of the biggest, if not the biggest positive in my life is growing love with the best partner I could have. And we met in November, and it's going on a few months of us being girlfriends. And I just am so grateful to have this person in my life. I've learned really in terms of relationships and like a lot of things in my life. I've told you this before. I learned things the hard way, but through experience, we learn what we want and what we don't want. And I appreciate every single partner in my past who have been my teachers, who has been my teacher. But I learned that more than external factors of what I like and what I don't like, whereas while those might be important in life, alignment is important. The most important thing that I needed to focus on were my values and what values would align with my own. And being willing to know what I want and deserve and being so clear on that, that anything that was not in alignment with that just wasn't appealing to me. And miraculously, thankfully, amazingly, I have a partner who feels so aligned and is so matched on so many levels and has just filled my life with my everyday with so much love. So I love you, Kim. Thank you. Another thing that happened to me, and that context is important for the following story, is I got in a pretty big accident, car accident, in the end of January. So my friends and I were planning a trip to Tulum, Mexico, and I wanted to see said girlfriend. She lives a little bit away one night. And so after visiting some friends, I was driving over to her, and there was so much more snow than I expected, and the roads were slow and things felt a little scary. And Google took me down this small road, and the turn came up so suddenly in the dark. I was driving on inches of snow and still being kind of a newbie to snow driving and perhaps being in a bit of a rush to see my girlfriend. I missed a turn, and instead of turning right on the road, I slid off and fell down a hill and crashed into a tree. And I had some minor injuries, some muscle shock, but my car, it's seen a lot better days and it's currently undrivable, which was a huge stress at the time. I decided to still go to Mexico with my friends and get some sunshine and sea water. And I let things go and I had a great time and came back to having to solve this issue. And it's still a little lingering, but I've made peace with it. And one of the best things that happen, as they do when I go on vacation, and maybe you can relate to this, I always have little ahas and revelations, and I guess some people call them downloads, which sounds like a strange term, but when I came back, I was co-working with my girlfriend one day, and I just walked into the room and I said, I got it. I got it. She didn't know what I was saying, but she was happy for me as a good partner. And I realized that there were some revisions that could be made to the very 4-H method, the thing I talk about all the time, the core of my work. And so I spent the next month or so making those revisions. I've changed it. You might not notice, it's might be small to you, but from hope, habits, happiness, health, I realized that what was more in alignment was hope, happiness, habits, health. I even changed the little logo or symbol that goes with it from a pyramid to concentric circles, where hope is in the middle, and then happiness is the next layer, habits is the next, and then the biggest circle is health. And that is to represent the interconnectedness and inextricableness of those 4 H's and what they represent for our health. Because you can't take one apart. It all works together and it's all related. So I also redid the payment structure. I went in the payment structure. So instead of a one-time fee and a small subscription monthly, I changed it to less of an entry to barrier and a little bit of a higher subscription, so monthly fee. You can also choose an annual option if you're just wanting to get 2 months off. And I still kept the tiered options for pay what you can. And you're able to change those options once you're in the program. There are no specific commitments that you're required to follow through on, except that first month. And if you realize it's not for you, you can opt out. I do recommend at least 5 months, and the whole program is designed to be a lifelong support system and growth place for your health all in one place. So you can check that out. The other thing I did is I went into the program, I revised all of the materials for the first 4 or 5 months and changed it around to make it more aligned with what I've learned and what I've realized about health and what is the most important things based on my experience in my life, but mostly with clients and research and education. So the heart of it hasn't changed by any means, but it's even better than it was before. And I don't think I would have had that if I didn't go to Mexico and had that all those tacos and Topo Chicos and beautiful waves with my friends. So check that out. It's in the show notes. go.mlroscoe.com/4H 4H method. And I would love for you to join because it's so, 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 so good. Another thing that's been going on is I want to touch on my workout routine because this is a fitness podcast and I've been regular with my workouts. I notice sometimes taking shorter workouts and a little bit less cardio, but I decided to sign up for a half marathon in Chicago on my birthday. And so I've been focused on doing strength training for that. So doing more core work, more glute work, some single leg work, strengthening my back and my neck for those long periods of standing straight. And I'm happy to say that I went on a run a couple weeks ago. We had an exceptionally warm day. It was up to 70 in Madison, which is glorious. And I was feeding my soul. But I went on a run and I did a short run. And I felt so good mentally and emotionally and physically. I felt strong in all those areas. And so I'm glad that I took a break and I'm glad that I've been focusing on training in that way. I've also just been consistent with my workouts. It's not anything fancy or anything special. I still love doing Turkish get-ups. I still love jumping rope, especially in the winter when I don't really want to walk or run outside a lot. I like to jump rope inside for my cardio. Stretching, been good at stretching, and it helps to have a partner who also does a lot of activity and stretching as well and is supportive in that and gives me my magnesium hits to help me with my soreness. And I've really entered from a season last year, towards the end of last year, of being a little bit busy and more social, into a season of just allowing things that are not really aligned to just happen as they will and not forcing or chasing anything and getting clearer. I've spent some time getting clear on what my real priorities are, which are my relationships. First of all, nothing in life is more important to me than my relationships, my kitties, and making sure that they're well taken care of, and my work, and of course, making time for myself. So I've really gotten clear on what my priorities are right now in my life, and I want my actions and my days to reflect that. And referring back to what I've mentioned about seasons and winter, I've been doing more inner work, I would say, which often requires less action and less productivity. And I've had to follow my own advice in the 4-H method of resting and resting without guilt, as I talk about in How to Feel Safe with Your Body, resting without guilt and practicing that. I've been taking more naps. That could be related to upping my anxiety meds. It makes me a little bit sleepy or easier to sleep. So I've been taking naps and even enjoying more screen time, which I know can be a don't do that, big no, but I've been enjoying it and it feels okay for me right now. I'm pretty conscious about the choices that I make, and my conscious choices have been focused on watching RuPaul's Drag Race, 90 Day Fiance, and I'm really into the show DTF St. Louis. The episodes are still being released, so I don't know. If you want to chat about any of those shows, please, please, please. I'd love to talk about them. We could talk about the couples in 90 Day Fiance the other way. Thankfully, I started it late, so I still have so much to catch up on, and they're still being released. I'm also watching The Single Life, so let's chat if you want to about those shows. Another thing that I've learned, and this is wrapping up, this is not a long episode. Sometimes, when you let's say that you're in a training season versus a non-training season, instead of going like 100% gung-ho right away, it's helpful to ease into it. And that's kind of what this episode is, especially considering my resistance previously to it. But one other thing I've learned is I'm always obsessed with money and learning about how to connect with money. And so I've been reading some books, listening to some books, and I've had some pretty significantly, so let's not take out the pretty, significantly profound lessons on money. And I would say one of the more recent and impactful ones has been really realizing how unimportant it is. I realized how I've put money on a pedestal, especially since I started my business and being more responsible for finances and having the unpredictability of month to month income as a business owner. I've put a lot of weight onto money. And in doing so, and by the way, this relates directly to health and fitness, and it's what I did with my body as well. So if this applies more to that area, of course, you're listening to Fitness Freedom, then please listen to this. Please take this in. I put so much emphasis on money on a pedestal as if it were some secret to unlock. And once I found the secret, then I would, have everything. But what I've realized and tried to integrate into my subconscious mind and my life is that money is really neutral. It's just energy. Money is just energy, just like a chair is energy, or a tree is energy, or your car has energy, or your carrot for lunch has energy, or your body has energy. It's all energy. And while we like to put energy into good energy or bad energy, really everything is neutral, and we may prefer some energies more than others, of course, but everything is neutral and we assign meaning to it with our beliefs and our perceptions. And so by making money, or let's just say fitness, because it can be interchangeable, so big in my life, I was actually separating myself from it, because by making it this huge, big thing on a pedestal, I saw it as above me instead of something that was equal to me. Another thing that I've really been integrating is that money is not just energy. Something that helped me understand more about money and the world and everything in life is money is stored energy. Just like food is stored energy. It has potential. So the energy of money is potential, it's exchange, it's possibilities, because we never really want money itself. What we really want is what money can give us, and those are potentials and possibilities. So being more aligned with the frequency of, or the energies of possibilities and potentials and freedoms and generosity and choice, that is the energy of money. And the more you can be in that, I have enough, the world is abundant, I'm not separate from anything, the less hold it takes on you. Same for fitness and health. And that is what I teach in the 4-H method. So we don't just go into the, hey, eat this and don't eat that. If you really want to understand health and fitness, food, movement, your body on a core, deep principle level that you can apply to your whole life to make it so much better, because why else would you want to? And that cuts through all the noise and BS of fitness and diet culture, especially in this age. If we're looking at like skinny being so popular, for celebrities continually losing weight, GLP-1s being popped like candy, all this stuff. If you want to cut through all that noise and go into the energy of things, so you can apply it to your own history, experiences, perspectives, life, challenges, and do whatever you want with it, the 4-H method is for you. It really shows you why things have felt so hard with food and exercise, and it gives you solutions for why they don't have to be hard at all. Knowledge is power. Application is empowerment. Knowledge is power. Application is empowerment. So if you want to discover more joy, freedom, and peace with fitness and health and food and exercise in your body, here's my invitation to join the 4-H method. And it is revised. And by the way, some of those principles that I've learned, I've put into the program so you can get more goodies if you're ready to dive in. The 4-H method is really not just, workouts and nutrition support, although that's what you get access to for sure. It really builds a foundation of understanding why you're doing what you're doing, what is happening on the foundational, basic level, so you can feel more empowered. So it's not someone just telling you what to do. It's you choosing for yourself what is best for you, which is cool. I don't want to just tell you what to do as a trainer, as a coach. Fuck that shit. I don't even want to. I just don't desire to just tell you what to eat and how to exercise. I can support you in that. But it's more important for you to make those choices yourself first and for your body. So those are some updates in my life. My kitties are doing well, Nyangi and Jayu. They miss me when I'm not here, but they've been doing well and getting lots of care. And I'm so thankful for the friends in my life, the positive relationships that I have that surround me. They're the most important thing to me. And I'm so excited about the evolution of the 4-H method. I can see the symbol on my window. It's drawn up there, and I can't wait for you to join. I can't wait for you to be a part of it and to see the transformations that are available to you. So check it out. Even if you are not like, yeah, I want to join, just check out my new website. It was fun to create, and I've made some pretty significant changes. So go check it out. And I'm looking forward again to sharing more wisdom with you as I evolve and the world changes, and for this to be a place where you can come and listen and feel uplifted and maybe even challenged to change your thinking, challenged to do new ways of being that are not hard, but that are enjoyable. And I'm so excited for what 2026 will bring. Are you ready for this adventure? Then welcome again to the Fitness Freedom Podcast 2026.